Welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your monthly horoscope for the month of July 2021. But before we begin, I want to let you know that on my YouTube channel called Realm of Astrology, I post daily astrology horoscope videos every single day. I post weekly horoscope videos every week, and I even post monthly horoscope videos every month, just like this one, as well as monthly sun rising sign videos on the channel as well. So you can watch that for your sun or rising sign, whatever you prefer, or both. And do hit the subscribe button and let's get started. So, how I'm going to do this horoscope is I'm going to talk about the important events in the month of July, and I'm not going to go into the details of those days. Those you can watch on my daily horoscope videos because there's a lot to cover, and I'm going to give you an overview, the basic energy of what July is going to be like, and then I'm going to pick a card for the month of July. But before coming into the month of July, let me give you a brief background on where we are at in astrology. So this goes back to March. March was a month where we ended a lot of old cycles, where we got rid of a lot of the past. And in April, we had a new beginning, a powerful new beginning. We did something in connection to our identity, which was a powerful beginning. And May was the deepening of that identity, figuring out more things. And June was a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, which was a powerful new beginning, a beginning that will stay with us for quite some time. And now, as we enter the month of July, a lot of the planets are retrograde. We have Pluto retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, Neptune retrograde. And what this means is that it's a time to reap the rewards for the work that we've put in as we enter July. The direct action, the forward movement was very, very much in April. But after, especially end April, May, and especially May end, that direct forward movement began to slow down, and now it's the time where we begin to receive the rewards for the work that we've put in, for the work that we have done. So we are entering the month of July with this energy, an energy of a lot of retrogrades, a time where we will receive things for the work that we have put in, a time of review. And the first thing that happens in July happens on July 1st. On July 1st, we have the last quarter phase of the moon. Now, this goes back to June 10th. We had a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini on June 10th, which was a new beginning in terms of our communication, our mind, our siblings, our immediate environment, and especially where 19 degrees of Gemini lies in your chart. And now is a point where, in relation to that beginning, we are assessing what we can release, what we can let go of, what can come with us to the next month. And this process of release does not always feel easy. Okay, so this is a point on July 1st that we will be releasing, and this energy will stay with us for a week. And then moving on July 3rd, we have the Sun Chiron square. The sun is our consciousness, it's our soul, it's our identity, and Chiron is the deepest wound that we have. It's also how we heal. And when these two square, it could be a wounding to our identity, to our consciousness. However, my belief is that it's a healing. It's a healing to our identity. It's a healing to our consciousness, to our soul. We're receiving some massive healing at this point on July 3rd. Yeah. And this is, it's a healing. And then moving on, we have the Venus-Saturn opposition on July 6th. Now, Venus is a planet of love, of relationships, of finances, projects, self-worth, values, skills. And Saturn is a taskmaster. It's the planet of decisions, hard work. It's the disciplinarian. And when these two planets oppose 180-degree angle, Saturn versus Venus, we might need to take a decision regarding our relationships, our projects, our finances. And this could also be a point where we begin to define Venus related things. We begin to define our relationships, define our projects, define our self worth, define our values, even. So, this happens on July 6th, and usually with Saturn, the energy does feel a little stressful. It does. And the good news is that on July 7th, Venus will trine Chiron. A day after it opposes Saturn, it's going to trine Chiron. So I believe in taking that decision, in defining Venus-related things, love, money, business partnerships, legal issues, self-worth, skills, values, finances, in defining them or taking a decision regarding them or working hard towards them, there's healing to us. It's a healing. It's healing to us, to our identity, to our soul, to our consciousness. And then on July 9th, we have the new moon in Cancer. It happens at 18 degrees of Cancer. And a new moon is always a point of new beginnings. It's the starting point of the new lunar month. It's the point where we sow things. We seed things for the reward to come later. And what are we sowing? What are we beginning at this point? With Cancer, it's all about self-care, nurturing, home, family, foundation, our roots, our ancestors, even property. So these are the themes that this new moon is touching. However, I'll be honest with you. The true beginning that's going to happen for you will be where 18 degrees of Cancer is in your chart. Which house that lies in, and that I cannot tell you. Only you can see for yourself. So there's a new beginning for you as a general theme in terms of our home, our deep emotions, our family, our foundations, our property, our roots, our ancestors. However, more so where 18 degrees of Cancer lies in your chart. And I do want to mention that this new beginning in Cancer, this new moon in Cancer is different. It's different than it has been at least since 2019. So that's a good 2 years. And why is that? Well, in 2019, we had eclipses in the sign of Cancer and Capricorn. From 2019, we've been having eclipses till I would say December 2020 was when the eclipses started to change. They had started to happen in different signs. But all of 2019 eclipses happened in Cancer and Capricorn. And even before. And Cancer and Capricorn eclipses were very difficult. They were. And the moon energy, the new moon in Cancer was always in eclipse because the nodes were there. And Saturn was in Capricorn. When the moon used to come into Cancer, when there would be a new moon or an eclipse, the Saturn would always be opposing it because they're opposing signs. And that felt difficult because Saturn feels difficult. Especially next to the nodes. It feels extremely difficult. And the south node, very, very difficult. So, for the past 2 years, new moon in Cancer, every new moon in Cancer which has been an eclipse has been difficult. It's not felt easy. And eclipse energy stays with us for a long time, right? If you don't know that now, you know that. So we've carried a lot of eclipse energy since 2019 with us that we got rid of beginning in April of this year, April 23rd to be exact. We started to release those eclipses. So this is the first new moon in Cancer, which is not an eclipse in 2 years, which is not opposing Saturn. And which is after we've released all those eclipse energies. Right now, the eclipse energy that's with us is of Gemini and Sagittarius, which is a more positive one, my belief. And this new moon in Cancer will be in an opposition to Pluto, which means it's a transformative new moon in Cancer. But it will not feel as hard as it did last year or the year before that, because Saturn is not in Capricorn anymore. So that's a big day, July 9th, because there's a new moon in Cancer, which is different from what we've seen in the past 2 years. Then moving on to July 11th, Mercury is going to enter the sign of Cancer. Mercury is our mind, it's our communication, it's our immediate environment, it's our siblings, but very importantly, it's our thinking processes. It's our communication. And when Mercury enters Cancer, a lot of that communication is internal. Because Cancer is a very introspective sign. This is the time where we think about our thinking, to put it very simply. And this is the point where Mercury would have left the sign of Gemini, right? It retrograded in the sign of Gemini, and Mercury rules Gemini. So Mercury does really well in Gemini. However, Gemini is a very overly stimulating energy. It can be a lot. And now Mercury coming into Cancer will really change how we communicate and how we think. From a lot of stimulation, a lot of talking, a lot of restlessness. It's about going within. It's about introspection. It's about thinking before speaking, because that's what introverts do as well. And moving on to July 15th. July 15th is when Chiron will go retrograde. And this, I believe, is a good thing. It's my belief, because Chiron is bittersweet. Like I said, Chiron is our deepest wound, but it's also how we heal. And when Chiron is direct, we are healing through wounds. That is what happens. Yes, we heal, but we heal through the wound getting dug deeper and deeper and deeper. That's how Chiron heals. And now, when Chiron goes retrograde, that wounding will stop. Whatever work we did while Chiron was direct, we'll see that come to us. If we worked on ourselves, if we healed ourselves, that healing will become more visible. It'll really come to us. We'll start to feel more healed. And July is a month with a lot of events, so bear with me. I'm halfway through the month. We'll take another few minutes and then we'll close with a card reading. And then on July 17th, we have the first quarter square of the moon. And this is a point where whatever beginning that I mentioned that happened on July 9th for you with the new moon in Cancer, which was transformative, which was different than it has been in 2 years, which wasn't as hard as it has been in 2 years, will have to face up to some challenges, some obstacles. Because that's what happens every month. It's nothing unique. But it happens on July 17th, and it will be there for the whole week. Okay? And moving on July 21st, Venus enters the sign of Virgo. Venus has been in the sign of Leo. It likes to be in Leo. Leo is about love, it's about pleasure, it's about fun, it's about hobbies, creativity, and children. And Venus is love, relationships, and it likes to be in Leo. But now in Virgo, Venus will not work the best. However, it's not to say it's a bad thing. Let's dissect this a little bit more. Venus is our love, relationships, partnerships, business projects, legal issues, finances, self-worth, value, skills. And Virgo is a sign that's very analytical. It's very critical. It's all about the day-to-day. It's all about this reality. It's also very hard-working. That's Virgo. And Venus likes to be in the opposite sign of Virgo, Pisces, where the energies go with the flow, where it's all about the emotions, where it's all about escaping to the other realm. So, Venus in Virgo, I believe, will be a good thing because it will help us plan, get organized, think critically, work hard towards a love, relationships, partnerships, business projects, legal issues, self worth, values, and skills. And that's a great thing because only when we do these things do our relationships, projects, finances, skills, self worth, value, skills develop. So, this is the point where we will begin to get organized in regards to Venus related things. And then on July 22nd, there'll be a shift in energy. The sun will enter the sign of Leo. Okay, and the sun has been in Cancer for the past 30 days. When the sun is in Cancer, the energy is very introspective. It's all about self-care, nourishment, your deepest emotions, your friends and family, and of course, which house the sun is transiting in your chart. But now in Leo, there's an energy shift. Okay, and the sun rules the sign of Leo, so it's at home now. It operates really well. And in Leo, we will work with a lot of pleasure, with a lot of joy, with a lot of heart. It's a very warm energy. It's also a go-getting energy. So that's going to be a shift. However, I do want to mention that the sun in Leo will oppose Saturn. So it may not feel very easy. Yeah. And this is, I believe, going to be the first time that the sun in Leo will oppose Saturn in Aquarius. So we will see that energy, and although sun in Leo is a very fun-loving energy, it's all about creativity, it's all about pleasure, hobbies, sports, all those things. With an opposition to Saturn, it might feel a little difficult for us to truly have so much pleasure. We may need to work hard while the sun transits Leo because it's opposing Saturn. And soon after that, as soon as the sun comes into the sign of Leo on July 23rd, we have a full moon in Aquarius. It happens at 1 degree of Aquarius. And what are full moons? Full moons are points of completion. Okay, and they're the point where some things culminate. They're also a point of emotional release. But on this full moon in Aquarius, what are we completing and releasing and culminating? Two things. The first thing is the new moon in Cancer that began on July 9th. Now we can see clearly what that beginning was. That's one. But the second is more important. We are culminating, we are completing the new moon cycle that happened in February, the new moon in Aquarius. And that was a powerful new moon. Why? Because we had so much energy in Aquarius. Everything right now is about Aquarius. Saturn is in Aquarius, Saturn, Jupiter conjuncted in Aquarius. If you believe in ages, then a lot of astrologers do say that we have entered the age of Aquarius. And with such a stellium in Aquarius back in Feb when the new moon in Aquarius happened, it was a powerful time. It was a powerful time and a powerful beginning, and now is the point where that completes itself. And the new moon in Aquarius was on Feb 11th, if I'm not mistaken. And this also ties into the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. Saturn and Jupiter conjuncted at 0 degrees of Aquarius in December of 2020. And these planets conjunct once in 20 years. It's a big deal. And they started a new cycle. Wherever 0 degrees of Aquarius is in your chart, that's where this new cycle began for you. And now, so close to 0 degrees of Aquarius, we have a full moon, which means that new cycle will fully come to light. Now, we will still build on it for the next 2 years, but now we will know what that cycle is truly about. But the full moon in Aquarius will be next to Saturn. So it will not feel very easy. Full moons by themselves don't feel very easy. But this being next to Saturn's energy is a powerful full moon, yes. It'll bring about completions, yes. It'll reveal what started in December of 2020 and Feb of 2021, yes. But it may require some hard work. It may require some decision. It may require some for you to define some things in your life. And all these aspects that I'm talking about, I will cover them in detail each and every day in my daily horoscopes. So you can find the details there, but this is just an overview of the important events of July. And then we're almost at the end because we've hit July 27th by now. And on July 27th, Mercury enters the sign of Leo. And this is after it has traversed through Cancer. And in Leo, we will be focused on having fun, on pleasure, on creativity. But that being said, Mercury in Leo will oppose Saturn, sorry. And this can be a lot of pressure on our thinking, on our mind, on our immediate environment. We may be required to define some things connected to our environment. We may be required to take a decision regarding our environment or regarding some communication we're having. But this is a more extroverted energy than Mercury in Cancer. And soon after that, on July 27th, Mars enters the sign of Virgo. Now this is Virgo in energy intensified because Venus is in Virgo, and if you remember, I said Venus in Virgo is all about organizing, planning, critically thinking about all Venus-related things. Love, relationships, money, partnerships, business, projects, skills, finances, self-worth, values. And now Mars entering the sign of Virgo means that before we take action, before we decide to do something, we'll analyze, we'll plan. It's not going to be, let's do this now. No, we'll plan to get things done, and we will get things done. We will get organized, and it's not just on paper that we'll get organized, we'll actually do those things. We'll take action in an organized way, is the basic energy of Mars in Virgo. And then on July 31st, we have the last quarter phase of the moon, and this is a point of release and letting go. And we are releasing and letting go of things that began for us on July 9th with the new moon in Cancer. And this energy will be with us all week. To sum it up, July is a month where we get organized. Because Venus enters Virgo, Mars enters Virgo, right? And we start to get organized because in the past few months, we've had a lot of changes. We've closed out cycles, we've began new things, we've stabilized those new things in our lives. And then with the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, that was a powerful new beginning. But somehow, till July, we've not been able to organize ourselves. We've been working, yes. We've been doing things, yes. We've been living our new life, yes. But that getting organized, feeling like, yeah, I'm organized, I'm planned, this is how I'm going to do it, is going to happen more in July. And July is also a time where so many planets are retrograde that it's a time for the rewards. The active work of forging your path is done as we enter July. And the full moon in Aquarius that happens on July 23rd is powerful. It's a big deal. It will illuminate a lot of new things that happened in your life going back to December and February. Now I will pick a card for the month of July and then we'll wrap up the video. Okay, I'm going to go with these two cards. And the first is Milk and Honey. And the second is Building Blocks. And we keep getting this card. We've got this card so many times. I think that's the energy that we're building. And let's start with milk and honey. I think this card says it all, right? Milk and honey. What is milk and honey? Treats, gifts, indulgences. It could also be a reward for work that we put in. Look at is it an elephant? Yeah, it's a little baby elephant enjoying himself or herself. And there's a rainbow, and this card is all positive. To me it says gifts, it says rewards, it says pleasure, it says enjoyment. It says you've put in the work now, just relax. Enjoy the gifts. And this card probably ties into all the retrogrades that are happening, which are time to receive the rewards of the work that we've put in. Because let's face it, June was a very intense month. We had the Saturn-Uranus square coming exact. That's work. That's a lot of work, right? We had the Neptune-Sun square, again, a lot of work. We had the full moon in Capricorn. So now, I think after we've done the work, after all the planets went retrograde, most of the planets, it's time to reap the rewards, and the rewards are sweet. As sweet as milk and honey. Now, building blocks. Building blocks. We are building for the future. And why I say the future, because look at how she's looking. She's looking into the future, and she's built that. She's done most of the work. Few pieces are left. And as we enter July, I did say the forward direct movement of forging the path will stop. Will slow down. So we've done most of the work. Now it's the time for the rewards. However, with Venus in Virgo, with Mars in Virgo, we will get planned, we will get organized, we will put those pieces where they belong. And the full moon in Aquarius. The full moon in Aquarius will illuminate the life that began in February and December of 2020. And perhaps the revealing, the illumination of that life will help us get clarity to build more. So July is about receiving the rewards for the work that you've put in, which this card says will be sweet. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a faint face in the skies. These rewards that are coming are from the higher realms. And July is also about getting organized and building. That's all I leave you with, and do hit the subscribe button. And again, I do daily horoscope videos that you can watch, which will have all these days in detail. I do weekly horoscope videos, which are overviews for the whole week to get you prepared, and monthly horoscope videos just like this one to give you a basic overview of the month. And then I do monthly sun, rising sign horoscopes where I break down all these events depending on your sun and rising sign. And I would always recommend that you go with your rising sign if you know it, because that's, according to me, more the true picture of what's happening in your life. And that's all I'll say. Do hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in one of my other videos. Bye.